We're live. We're coming at you live.
Coming at you live. So before we get started, I got shot in the face with a BB gun somewhat recently, so it's a fresh wound. Just want to get out ahead of that one and make sure everybody knows because I think we're going to get a lot of questions about it.
Well, that's the number one thing in show business. Get out ahead of stuff.
You got to get out ahead of things. I'm big on getting out ahead of things. So,
All right. So we're settled in here.
yeah, we're settled in.
What did you do to make yourself look so much better?
Unplug my mesh extender. I have an extender to extend my Wi-Fi. I unplugged it and somehow it's better.
It was messing with the Logitech.
I don't know. It wasn't messing with the Logitech. It was just giving me bad service. Sometimes you just get bad service, bad network connection. I don't know how that would slow things down, but I mean, I do know, but I don't want to get into all the detail, all the tech stuff with you because I know you can't keep up. You're very baseline, you're sub baseline tech guy.
Sub-baseline tech guy. All right, well, the sub-baseline tech guy is going to get the show started. So let's get it started. Hopefully you don't run any more interference with your mesh. All right, so we've got an interesting week behind us of interest rates and whatnot. So for what's your rate, we start the show every week with what's your rate. The segment is what's your rate. So we were talking about interest rates, where they're going, where they've been. It's getting worse. I don't know why. Well, I guess we know why. They say like retail spending is up. People are still spending their money, and that's not good, I guess. And that's not good for inflation. So interest rates are up, and they're away, and it's. I don't really know what to say about it. Do you have anything to say about the interest rates, Al?
I hate everything. It sucks. It's miserable. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we were like probably going to touch 8. You know what I mean? We're probably going to hit the 8s. And it's not like it was like, ooh, oh, touched it. It's just fucking, you know. I mean, we're blowing right past it. I don't know where it ends. I don't know where it's going. It sucks. It's miserable. We've been in the eye of that. We've talked about it being the eye of the hurricane, and then we're in the actual thick of the hurricane. We've talked about being out at sea in rough weather, and we're taking on water. I mean, I don't have an analogy this week. It's just, just a big kick in the pants, a bunch of times over.
And I don't want it to be like just us. I don't know if it feels chaotic to anybody else out there, but it feels weird. Like things are just out of control. Interest rates are certainly out of control. I mean, you've got Ryan Serhant, one of the biggest agents in the world, doing freaking green screen camera in face, like.
Oh no. Oh, Ab froze. Ab, you're frozen. Oh. We can't get a break. We're struggling out here. And part of it's because of the rates, I'm sure. Because of a lot of things, you know. But here we are talking about the rates and how miserable they are. And it's like, well, how much worse could it get? My guy's frozen. I don't even have a guy. I'm out here solo at this point. I feel like Garth. Look, things are tough right now in the mortgage biz, right? We didn't think we'd be here a couple years ago. We were slinging 2.25%, 2.5%, 3%. Now 8%, and it could push up to like, I don't know, 10, 12, 14. Home prices, values are rising, right? Where does it end? Where does it get easier? I'll tell you where it gets easier. It doesn't get any easier. It's just going to get harder and harder and harder, and then you die. Mortgage show. Man. It's all sunshine and rainbows here, apparently. Jeez Louise. Ab's probably going to come back at some point, come in hot, finish this Ryan Serhant thought, I would assume. I don't really know where he was going with it, but it sounded like he was on something good. He had me hooked. But, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. You know, weather's starting to turn. That's positive, right? Halloween coming up. try to figure out ideas of what we want to be. You know, try to incorporate the whole family. There he is. There's my guy.
Green screen, camera in face, like the rest of us suckers on Instagram trying to do anything we can to get business. You know it's not good when he's doing that, and he's kind of saying the same thing everybody's saying. It's not good. One thing he did say was like you're pumping trillions into the system, and it's not. And you're blame. Well, he didn't say blame it. He was like you're pumping trillions into the system, and our interest rates keep going up. So it's a mess.
It's a mess.
I don't know why my computer crashes. I guess I need a new computer. It's brand new. I might have gotten 11.
Hey, let's ease up on the expenditures, okay? Rates are at 8%. We don't have the money. We don't have the money to be thrown around. And then on top of that, you can't even buy, it's like, oh man, I've been working on my computer. I could really go for a glass of milk because you're a big milk guy, right? Big milk guy. How much that costing you at the store, right? 8%?
Yeah, I mean, 2% milk, price of 2% milk go up 10%.
It's bad. It's bad. 2%, call it 8%. It's bad. Yeah. So don't rush into buying a new computer. Okay. Hang on tight. Maybe stock up on some ramen. It's not a bad investment right now. Right. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going to do OnlyFans, right? Or sell feet pics, but I'm a lot closer to it now than I ever thought I would be. We'll put it that way, right? At this point, I'm just laying options out on the table, and I'm not going in a direction. But I'm just.
Let's not get too just out of control right now and off topic and out of control. But if you were to go on,
I'm not going to sell my kid, right? But the option's been put on the table just to see what all we have.
Can we talk about the wage gap between men and women on OnlyFans?
Oh, how about that's actually a good topic. That's a really good topic. Let's talk about that.
Maybe the federal government could subsidize how men can't make as much money as women on OnlyFans. Is there a government program that subsidizes that? What is ESPN like the ESPN of pornography? Are they gonna make women watch OnlyFans like they make men watch the WNBA?
Probably. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I just want to be paid as much as the women are paid on OnlyFans. That's all I want. I just want an equal comparison.
Your OnlyFans is like watching. It is the equivalent of watching the WNBA.
I wouldn't even give it that. It's like it's D3, buddy. It's D3. It's not, I mean, we know the video quality is going to be bad. The content's going to be awful. You're not going to be able to hear me. The camera's going to be crashing. I'm going to be negative the entire time. It's not going to be a positive experience, right?
Yeah.
I just think I'm going to be able to guilt people into watching just to support me.
Shit, it's starting to sound like our freaking show. All right, so moving on from Al's OnlyFans, we've got hot take. We got some hot takes this week. I'll start off with a hot take. I think we're behind schedule already, so we gotta crank here a little bit. Hot takes. Here's my hot take. Okay. And I don't want to get political, and I don't want to be too downtrodden and all that stuff. But we've been saying it for weeks. And hey, Federal Reserve, powers that be. The boogeyman is inflation. It is the boogeyman. Everybody, it is the reason that rates are high. It's the reason that you can't borrow money, whether it's a credit card, a car, or mortgage. It's the reason that home affordability is so bad. It's the reason that everything. And then they turn around and the data that they analyze is all consumer expenditures. Oh, you're spending too much money. Too many people are employed. If unemployment was higher, inflation would come down and rates would come down. So too many people are employed. How about you stop? Here's the root of my hot take. Stop blaming everything but the fact that you're just adding money to the debt. You're expanding the debt ceiling. You're putting money You're spending money like water. Isn't that a problem?
You would think, but apparently it's not because we want to spend more, right? We can spend more. We can afford to spend more. Anytime something breaks out, anytime some issue breaks out, we got it. We'll throw some money at it, right? We're the guys. We'll do that, and
But
with
it's
no regard for
consumers'
what's going
fund.
on at home, right? No
Yeah.
regard for what's going on here. So, yeah, which it makes it a lot harder, right? I mean, I don't know. It's a good hot take. It's a very good hot take. So, what's your actual take on it, though?
My take on it is I'm not an economist. I don't really know. So let me preface it with that. But if you're printing money and spending money at the federal level and devaluing our dollars, isn't that the definition of inflation? Is it's like I'm taking crazy pills. It's how I feel. It's how I feel. Like I'm the crazy one sitting here reading. Like they're citing reports about consumer spending.
Oh, Jesus. Tell you what the consumers aren't spending on is a new computer. Consumers are not spending on a new computer, obviously. It's the last of the purchases, apparently. Or maybe good internet. I don't think consumers are spending money on good internet. You know what I think this keeps happening because of inflation. I think inflation is to blame for all of it. There's so much inflation, it's messing with the airwaves, and Ab can't even get a good connection on his computer. What's the world coming to? What's it coming to? And here I am. I find myself all alone, right? I'm by myself, right? I'm out here somewhere. We did this before, right? I'm out there and by myself and I'm just treading water, trying to wait for my friend to get back. And I just don't, how long do you do it? How long do you do it? But you got to keep pumping stuff out, right? You got to keep putting out content. Got to keep putting out content. You got to keep coming up with things to talk about on air. I don't know what to talk about. I'm at this point, I'm just trying to consume. I'm just trying to say a bunch of things and just keep talking and using a lot of hand gestures so it looks like I'm talking about something really important. You know what I mean? I guess I'm just trying to buy my time until Ab gets back, to be completely honest. I'm just trying to fill space.
I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna quit.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Tell you what, consumers aren't spending money on new computers.
My computer's it's a beautiful Acer Nitro. Bought it less than a year ago.
What was my nickname in high school?
Nitro. Everybody knows it. If you don't know it, you're an asshole. If it crashes again, dude, I'll talk to you Monday. Honestly, I'm about to either.
I can't even have a phone call with my
everything.
friend if our show doesn't work out. I can't. I lose a friend in the process. If your computer crashes, I'm not allowed to talk to you until Monday. Don't call me, dude. Don't call me. Don't text me.
All right, let's crank through this before it fucking crashes again, and I have to break something or cry.
Yeah, my hot take is life's tough. Get a helmet, right? We're all going through it. It's going to be fine. You're going to look 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road. You're going to look back and be like, maybe it wasn't so bad, right?
Yeah.
But this is also, it was easy to say those kinds of things before we had the news in the palm of our hand, right? Constant news in the palm of our hand, where you didn't have to worry about it constantly. It wasn't like end of the world, end of the world, end of the world, misery, death, rates, inflation, Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, China, it was so much easier to be like, just don't worry about it, right? Just put it in the back of your mind and everything will fizzle out.
It was the evening news that you may or may not have watched, and then you had to read the newspaper.
Right. And now it's just you're constantly being hit with it. But, we're all in it. The only way out is through. So keep your head down, run to win. A couple years, you'll look back and be like, we made it.
Yeah.
And then you'll worry about something else.
Right. And we've got young kids right now, so like if we're sitting around miserable and everything, is ultimately going to be what it is.
Yeah.
We can't waste this time being negative or mean or whatever because of all the negative news. It's better just kind of like not bury your head in the sand, but bury your head in the sand. when it comes to like the World War III and all that shit. I mean, they're
Yeah,
talking about it. Like,
big time. It's everywhere. It's all they talk about.
it's a good hot
Yeah,
take, and it's perfect for today, for today's day and age. Um, life's tough. Get a helmet. Love it.
that's it. That's it.
Okay, so moving on to opinionated. Opinionated is our segment where Al and I share headlines, facts, uh, stuff that's going on in the world, and we
Hmm.
give our opinion about it. So,
None of it's positive. It's all negative.
yeah. All right. So, first things first, I've
This
got.
is wild. This one got me. This is a good one.
uh, Okay, so RFK uh, seems like a great guy. Seems like he makes a lot of good points.
Yeah.
He's presidential candidate. Anyway, he highlighted a fact that State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock, three giant corporations that own everything. I think they own
And
like
also
89.
own portions of each other. So it's basically like one big organization, more or less. I mean, they're independent, but they all own a piece of each other. So,
Yeah. So what is that? They own like 89% of the S&P, so stocks but more related to our world, they are on pace to own 60% of all single family residences. 60%.
by
Um,
2030, when is it by? By like 20. Hold
yeah, I
up.
think it was 2030. It was 2030. But the
Yeah, by
link
2030.
the link to the article will be in the show description on YouTube. But you gotta realize what that means. And I don't think so. So all these LLCs that are buying houses that are making it more expensive for people um, are usually tied back to one of those three corporations.
Right.
Um, and those happen to be the folks that are able to afford taking it on the chin right now at 8%, 7%, whatever. But if you own a house and your landlord is a corporation, corporations care about profit and loss. They care about reporting to a board their profits and losses. So if you are no longer profitable for them, there's no human element. There,
No.
you're out. There's something. It's got to stop. It just cannot continue.
Yeah.
Um, we don't want a future where corporations own everyone's single family houses. These aren't apartment buildings. These are single family houses.
Right.
Um,
And it's getting to the point where, I mean, you'll own nothing and like it. He actually makes a great point in that article. I love this. He says that it's kind of it's almost an obligation of the person, of the seller, right, to try to sell that home to a family, right, to somebody, to another person, and not to a company, not to an LLC, because and as tough of a pill as it might be to swallow, take a little bit of the hit, because you're definitely going to get offered more from this company who owns everything, right? Who has all the money to spend.
yeah,
Um,
and they're in their
but
cash offer.
right, and so, which makes the process a heck of a lot easier. There's a lot less chance that this thing's going to fall through when you have an all cash offer like that from a company who has, you know, no limitations when it comes to spending. So it kind of is on the seller, right, as a person to try to sell that home to a family, to another person. And as much as it might, especially now, be difficult to take a hit on that. I mean, it's tough to see, would anybody do that? You'd have to be in that situation. But I think anybody should do their due diligence to make sure that it is another person that's getting that home, right? So that we don't end up with one giant organization that controls everything, right? And
Yeah.
then you have zero ownership. And
The problem is we live in a society where it's all about the bottom line. And it's just it's not look, hey, it's not it doesn't seem to be working.
no,
If you can't just only think about money. It's not it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out for whatever reason. It doesn't work out.
no,
So yeah, I'm with you. It's on the sellers, and we all need to come together and do something. People like him are helping. Hopefully, he has a shot. All right, next opinionated article. here, and this one is maybe a little more political, but it goes back to the inflation thing, and it goes back to it leads back to mortgage rates. Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, former Fed chair,
Yeah.
says in an interview, America, quote, America can certainly afford to support Israel and Ukraine at the same time. We can support two wars at the same time. So just more spending, and it's just extremely it sounds irresponsible to just continue to throw money at problems.
Right.
Are there humanitarian issues? Are they problems? Yes, they are problems. Does that mean that we should throw money at it, exacerbate inflation? And oh, by the way, there's 600,000 homeless people in the United States of America right now. We have
Right.
our own humanitarian problems.
Yeah.
Like, pick your
I mean,
problem.
yeah. Couldn't agree more. I think the focus should be turned a little bit more towards the home front, right, and try to help. Um, yeah, I mean, make life a little bit better here, right? Now that's not to say that there shouldn't be humanitarian efforts out there to support what's going on in Europe and in the Middle East, but it doesn't have to be to necessarily support a war, right, or support one side of a war. Um, it's awful what's going on regardless. I think everybody would agree that it's awful, but how much of our resources and then military might, at what point do we get drawn into a point, where we're past the point of no return, right? Um, it's just it's just a really strange time, right, with all this going on and kind of all at once.
Yeah.
Um, with what's going
Well,
on the home front, what's going on at the border, what's going on in Israel and Palestine, and what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, and to have all
China
these
and
things,
Taiwan.
China and Taiwan, yeah, I mean all these things kind of happening all at once. Um, I don't know. I'm
It's a
sure
little.
there's people out there. I'm sure there's countries out there that love seeing us get pulled in 19 different directions, right, and throwing money all over the place. I'm sure it's not by mistake. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how the debt like gets worked out, or I really don't know much about it, but if consumer expenditure is a problem, wouldn't federal government expenditure also be a problem?
yeah, right.
So,
I mean, at some point, don't you just want to go to the grocery store and just pick up groceries for your family at a reasonable price and not have to think about what the 17 different things that are impacting why it's $6 to buy a gallon of milk? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'll tell you what, Al. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end.
oh, give us another
It's a
anthem.
damn shame.
Yeah, yeah. Oliver Anthony said it best. Oliver Anthony said it best. I don't know. We'll see. All right, on to the next. On to the next. Um, Another doozy. Oh shit, are you frozen again? Oh, Ab. Might be a throwaway. Might not be a throwaway. Might get some good stuff out of this. We got to keep it going. All right, Jerome Powell escorted out as climate change protesters interrupt a talk in New York City. I mean, this one I kind of I don't know. I don't know. Ab plugged this one in and I read it. I mean, at some point, shouldn't we just be able to toss these people out? I mean, do we really have to worry about what the hell they have to say? We get it, climate change, blah, blah, blah. But so many different people are pointing at Jerome Powell and saying, why are you doing this? At some point, doesn't have to turn intrinsically for him to be like, oh, Ab's back. We were just talking about Jerome Powell and the climate change protests.
Oh, nice. All right, so you covered that.
I can't hear you.
So you covered that.
No, I mean I just started on it, and what I was getting into is you have like the climate change folks and then like the everyday folks and like the I guess the normal people and the lunatics. Everybody's kind of pointed at Jerome Powell and being like, all right, buddy, like you got to do something. And maybe at that point it's like at least one of them's got to be right. Like, buddy, everything you're doing is wrong. This is terrible. You're shitting on us, right? You're putting us in a terrible spot, right? So that's my first thought. My second thought is kind of the opposite side of that maybe is, these climate change protesters, just like 5 of them up there, and they're just, and this could be in any event, right? When protesters come and they're like, bah, 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 and, interrupting somebody's talk, it's like, all right, get the hell out of here, right? Can't we just have don't we have security that could just pick them up, right? Scruff of the neck and just throw them out and be like, get the hell out, right? You're like, enough. Like, I don't know what happened in society where if somebody starts screaming and yelling, you have to automatically stop and listen to what they have to say. Sometimes you don't give a shit what they say, right? You made your point. We get it. Get the hell out of here. We got shit going on.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you.
Right? Like,
hold on. Can you see this? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Here, and they're always dressed like this.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's,
except for this fellow in the suit. He's the outlier. They must have grabbed him last
minute. What's she
minute.
doing? Is she looking at her? Is she just like looking at her cuticles? Like, you're on stage protesting. What are you looking at,
She
lady?
definitely got some notes written on her hand.
Yeah. She has to. That is burning climate defiance. Jesus. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's exactly what you picture.
Just go wherever you came from. Sorry, but just go wherever you came from. Take it easy. Leather trench coat, boots.
Definitely, house is in complete disarray. A lot of cats. Smells terrible, right?
Yeah, but the friend of my enemy is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Has got one of those situations going on.
But you might have turned that into a bumper sticker. Friend of your friend is, what is that?
Enemy of your enemy is your friend.
What's
the enemy
that?
Of my enemy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
There it is. Nailed it.
The climate thing. I don't know why they have to be so intrusive.
Yeah. I mean, you got to put your word, get your word out there and get your point out there. And if they're in the parking lot, like, hey, blah, 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 that's one thing. But like to go into the conference, like, all right, we don't have enough people in here. You just be like, get the fuck out, kick them out the door. Because then you're going to have somebody like getting on camera, like, oh my God, look how terrible these people are. Like, yeah, you deserve it, right? You're coming in here, you're disruptive. You got to get your ass kicked. What happened to people just getting their ass kicked?
Yeah. Billy Club. So, the other thing that's weird.
Harsh, but...
The other thing that's weird is, look, I want the planet to be healthy. I don't think wars and bombs and all that is how you keep the planet healthy, or fake food. Yeah. But I want the planet to be healthy. But anyway, they trying to kind of spun it into it's a conservative versus liberal topic, which is ridiculous. Yeah. It's the planet we all live on. But the party that most closely aligns with climate change are the same people that appointed Jerome Powell. So, hey, this is your guy.
Yeah.
Your guy. This is your guy. This is your team. Like it's you got everything you want. So maybe we need to realize that they're all the same and we're all the same. All the politicians are the same and all the people are the same. We just, gotta get
No. Because the longer they can keep us yelling at each other, fighting each other, the less chance there is that we're gonna storm the wall, right? That we're gonna actually look to the real problem, right? They'd rather keep us fighting amongst each other, and they're sitting up there like, you guys are idiots, right? Just keep them fighting each other, and they won't fight us. They won't fight, none the wiser.
Memes. Just drown them in memes.
Yeah, that's it. Memes, wars, give them different things to fight about. If they weren't distracted by this war, let's throw another war at them to be distracted about, right?
Yeah. Let's see if they bite on aliens. Oh, aliens is kind of dying off. All right, let's get the next thing going.
That's the truth, man. Anything to distract from the real problems that are going on. So, yeah. Whew, wild times. But, at the end of the night, still got to put my kid to bed, lay in bed next to my wife, go to sleep, get up, and do it all again the next day. So you put a lot of thought into it, but at the end of the day, you still got to take care of you and yours. How much can you really care about these sons of bitches?
We didn't get into any. This was not a mortgage show.
Yeah. So mortgage rates are high, right? Mortgage rates are high. Applications are down. If you have the means to buy, you should buy and then refinance later on. And if you don't, well, then you're going to be trying to buy with, I don't know, a couple million other people are trying to buy. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where we are. FHA loans, conventional loans, USDA loans, VA loans, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
We do it all.
We got a viewer for the end of the show.
Thanks for tuning in. You missed a lot of good stuff, a lot of mortgage talk. The do's and don'ts, processes, underwriters, processing, it'll work.
Don't worry. We stayed in our lane. We didn't talk about geopolitical
Nope.
affairs.
Didn't talk about any of that stuff. We talked about the only we didn't give our opinions about anything. We just talked about the things that we know.
Just reported facts.
And that's why people tune in. So thank you, viewer. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Viewer. We appreciate you, viewer.
Big fan of you, viewer. All right.
The problem with going straight to YouTube from Restream is like if we were straight to YouTube with no Restream, we could see who it was and they could chat with us. You can't do that with Restream. Viewer is staying strong. Viewer is in. He's locked in. He or she is locked in, and the viewer is there just for the whatever to watch.
Viewer put a message. Viewer sent us an emoji.
How?
Smiley face on YouTube. I don't know. I see it on my screen. We're getting viewer interaction. This show is taking off. And here's another thing, right? Here's another thing real quick. Just to piggyback off of us staying in our lane, right? This show would be number one. We would be blowing up right now if it wasn't for Vanguard and BlackRock and these companies trying to suppress us because we're putting the truth out, right? So they are suppressing us and not letting us put the truth out. This thing will be all over the place. And viewer, we appreciate you sifting through and fighting through the mess and the mud and the muck to get to us, to listen to the message. And you're all the better for it. Trust me.
Yeah, whatever happened to getting rid of monopolies? Whatever happened to that? Breaking up monopolies. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, they own the message, and we are counterculture to their message, and that's why we're being shadow banned on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever we put this.
That's why.
People search for that mortgage show, and it just doesn't come up.
No, it doesn't come up. And this is why, right? Because they're trying to suppress us. They don't like our voice. But with us and our viewer, we will survive. We are going to go straight to the top. And the ratings are going to go through the roof. Trust me. You just got to hang in there with us, right? Stay along for the ride. Abs out. Abs frozen again. This is like the fourth time, viewer. But it's been a great show. I gotta wait till Ab comes back because I can't even end the live feed. Son of a, God bless it. But we will be back next week with a lot more mortgage stuff, and I think that we're going to be talking about rates probably going even higher. It's not what we want to be talking about, but we're realists here, right? So hang in there, stay strong. Everything's going to get better. If it doesn't, who the hell cares? You can't do anything about it anyway. So just stay strong. We love you.
Viewer. Sorry, viewer. We let you down. It all crashed. We're going to end the stream. Thanks for watching. Leon, you're the best. See ya.